The year is 1346. A chilling wind whispers across the steppes of Central Asia, carrying with it something far more sinister than mere cold. Something unseen, something insidious is about to unleash its fury upon the world. We speak, of course, of the Black Death. Not merely a plague, but a cataclysm, a turning point in human history, a secret whispered on the wind for centuries, now finally unveiled. Pause, let the weight of that statement settle. For centuries, scholars have debated its origins, its spread, its devastating impact. But today we delve deeper, beyond the dry statistics and clinical descriptions, into the very heart of this terrifying event, into the lived experience of those who witnessed its horrifying dance of death. Imagine, if you will, the bustling markets of 14th century Europe, the vibrant tapestry of life, the cacophony of sounds, the aromatic blend of spices and sweat. Now picture that vibrant scene dissolving into a nightmare. A nightmare born not of war or famine, but of an invisible enemy. The first whispers of illness began subtly, a cough here, a fever there. But soon, these isolated incidents coalesced into a terrifying wave of pestilence, a tidal wave of death that would engulf the continent. The bubonic plague, transmitted by the bite of infected fleas dwelling on rats, spread with terrifying speed. The symptoms were unmistakable, horrifyingly so. Swollen lymph nodes known as buboes appeared under the armpits, groin, and neck, turning black and oozing pus, hence the name, the Black Death. High fever, chills, vomiting, diarrhea, and agonizing pain followed, often leading to death within days. Imagine the sheer terror, the helplessness, the utter despair of those witnessing loved ones succumb to this relentless killer. But the Black Death was not a simple, singular event. It manifested in various forms, each more terrifying than the last. The bubonic plague, the most common form, was horrific enough. But then there was the pneumonic plague, a deadly lung infection that spread through the air, a terrifying harbinger of doom, tearing through communities with even greater speed. And finally, the septicemic plague, a blood infection, the most rapid and lethal of all, leaving its victims with blood-filled blisters and a swift, agonizing demise. Each variant a grim reminder of the plague's capricious and merciless nature. The impact of the plague on European society was profound, utterly transformative. Entire villages were wiped out, leaving behind only silence and the stench of decay. Cities, once vibrant centers of commerce and culture, became ghost towns, their streets littered with the corpses of the dead. Families were torn apart, leaving behind orphans and widows to navigate a world ravaged by disease and despair. The very fabric of society began to unravel. The church, once a pillar of strength and comfort, struggled to cope with the scale of the devastation. Theories abounded, some blaming God's wrath, others pointing to astrological events or poison wells. In the face of such inexplicable suffering, faith itself seemed to waver. The traditional social order crumbled as the existing power structures proved incapable of dealing with the crisis. Social unrest and violence became rampant, fueled by fear, desperation, and the breakdown of established norms. Yet from the ashes of this immense tragedy, a new Europe began to emerge. The plague reshaped the political, economic, and social landscape of the continent in profound and lasting ways. The decimation of the population led to a labor shortage, granting surviving peasants greater bargaining power and contributing to the eventual decline of feudalism. The plague also spurred advancements in medicine and public health, leading to improvements in sanitation and hygiene practices. The very nature of life, death, and faith were reevaluated, leading to philosophical and religious changes that would reverberate through the centuries. The Black Death was not just a historical event, it was a crucible forging a new world from the ruins of the old. It left an indelible mark on the human psyche, shaping our understanding of death, disease, and our own mortality. The sheer scale of the catastrophe compels us to confront the fragility of human existence and the enduring power of nature's forces. It also highlights the resilience of the human spirit, our capacity to endure even in the face of unimaginable suffering. Pause, let the gravity of that statement sink in. The Black Death's legacy continues to resonate even today. Epidemiologists study its patterns to understand and combat modern pandemics. Historians continue to unravel its mysteries, piecing together the fragmented narratives of those who lived through it. And we, as inheritors of this complex legacy, are left to contemplate its profound and lasting impact on the world we inhabit. The Black Death was more than just a plague. It was a transformative force that reshaped Europe's social, economic, and religious structures. It led to the decline of feudalism, the rise of new social classes, and the evolution of medical practices. The sheer scale of death estimates vary wildly, but some suggest a loss of life as high as 30% to 60% of Europe's population was staggering, reshaping the very demographic landscape of the continent. This demographic shift had profound consequences, leading to labor shortages, altering agricultural practices, and fundamentally changing the power dynamics between the peasantry and the aristocracy. Furthermore, the Black Death profoundly impacted religious beliefs and practices. The widespread death and suffering led to questioning of the Church's authority, fueling religious dissent and contributing to the rise of new religious movements. The plague's devastating impact also fostered a new appreciation for death and the afterlife, influencing artistic expression and philosophical thought. The macabre imagery of the plague's victims became a powerful symbol in art and literature, reflecting the pervasive fear and uncertainty of the time. The economic consequences of the Black Death were equally profound. The massive loss of life disrupted trade, agriculture, and manufacturing. The shortage of labor led to higher wages for surviving workers, ultimately weakening the feudal system. The plague also stimulated innovation and technological advancements as societies sought ways to cope with the crisis. The development of new sanitation practices and medical treatments, though rudimentary by today's standards, represented significant steps forward in public health. It's crucial to remember that the Black Death wasn't a singular event, but a series of waves that swept across Europe over several decades. Each recurrence brought renewed fear and devastation, reminding people of the plague's ever-present threat. The long-term effects were complex and multifaceted, leaving a lasting impact on the social, economic, and political structures of Europe, shaping the course of history in ways that continue to be felt today. Its legacy serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of human life and the enduring power of infectious disease. The echoes of the Black Death still resonate in our world. The stories of those who survived, their resilience and adaptation, their profound grief and loss, their unwavering spirit in the face of unspeakable horror, these narratives are more than just historical accounts. They are testaments to the human capacity to endure, to rebuild, and to learn from even the darkest chapters of our collective past. And so, as we conclude our journey into the heart of this ancient enigma, let us remember not only the devastation but also the enduring strength of the human spirit. For even from the deepest shadows of the Black Death, a new dawn eventually broke. A dawn forged in the fires of tragedy, but a dawn nonetheless. A dawn that continues to illuminate our world.